Hey everybody, welcome to BombSquad. I'm Dan Stacy, and you are about to witness my nerdy family and I use silly voices and exploding dice to tell a good story. That was really good, you guys.
All right, excuse me.
We tried.
This is a children's show. Well,
I say no on the whole YouTube thing where you say, is it made for kids?
yeah,
I say no. Kids are welcome to watch.
My kids do.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Please be careful.
my son likes the intro, but then once you guys start talking, he's like, whatever.
My kids prefer me to retell the story. I skip a few things.
Yes. I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. Okay, anyways, where were we? RPG Marie.
Eggs and rice.
Come back. David knows for a month.
I know.
This one.
That one, yeah.
Remember that?
It was good. It was good. That's all I can say.
Nailed it.
Bone.
Broth.
What is it?
Oh, bone broth.
Frothy.
Yeah, let's talk
Bone
about
broth.
bone
Yeah,
broth.
that is actually interesting.
Bone broth. Okay, so they essentially take bones and they boil them down into a
Whose
powder.
bones?
They froth them.
Typically, I don't know. I believe it's usually chicken broth. You know, chicken broth is like what people typically eat to get the benefits of broth because of collagen, because of, gosh, I don't have it in front of me, but there's all these different sorts of benefits. My recommendation, I would give it a try. I like the idea of having several different types of protein powder because you're gonna have your go-to. You're gonna have the one that you like.
How much bone broth do you need? Like, I'm just expecting like this.
He actually has a bone broth
blah, blah, blah,
protein
blah, blah.
powder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like a protein, and then they flavor it, which is interesting. It's higher in protein.
Like beef, turkey, like.
This one's actually vanilla. They have a chocolate one.
Vanilla chicken.
What kind of a vanilla chicken?
You've seen those the classic white chickens.
GMO
They're
can do some
vanilla.
crazy things,
The
all
chocolate
right?
ones or the
You
brown.
get vanilla chickens, get the chocolate chickens.
What are you putting into that? Peanut butter?
You gotta be really careful or they all come from the other side of the screen and attack you until you run into a building.
Do you grind your own bones to make your bread, or do you buy them from the store?
We purchased
You
this.
can see.
We purchased this kind. There's lots out there. Some of them don't work so great. What?
Nothing. I'm just...
Anyways, bone broth. I would give it a try, but try all different sorts of protein powders. Again, I still think taste-wise, Arbonne rocks.
It's good.
But the froth is really nice with this what is it called? Bone broth protein powder.
The froth is good with the
Vanilla
broth.
chickens.
Bone froth.
So I guess
Call it
let's
bone
dive
froth.
into the next
Bone
brothy
froth.
episode of BombSquad.
Yeah. Austin made me think of peanut butter chickens.
Yeah, peanut butter
He
chickens.
specifically said injecting chickens with
If you also eat a peanut butter chicken, it's calorie negation.
It negates something.
Sorry. Go ahead, Dan.
And we dive back in. Master Iliad, what say you?
He's eating baby
The
chicken.
recap.
I know.
Okay.
Oh.
Because I know.
He didn't know. You didn't know.
I always forget, man. I'm not with it. I'm rushing over to take a bite of pie and. Oh. Dear diary, you wouldn't believe we won. We all won. This amazing. Okay, it was somewhat muddy game, but again, we won lots of cups. Magically, we just the mud fell off of us, which I was quite thrilled about because I smelled pie, which is where I am right now. They're off having some sort of discussion that Birdman and his name's Akira. Anyways, I think eventually I look over and I do see Brick. He looks a tad lonely. It'd be quite nice if I invited him over to have a bite of pie with me, which I may do if I do not eat all of it. Anyways, I'm off to have
This isn't a recap
pie eating
anymore.
competition. I don't know if this is helpful. I think I've gone to the extreme.
Oh my gosh.
Just so you know,
It makes me cry every time.
when it's my turn to recap, I am recapping in Iliad's diary.
Wait. Hold on. P.S. I think Ingrid still looks a bit like a frog. But she's lovely.
Thank you.
Ingrid, like the tongue comes out real quick. Oh, thank you. Okay, that was
Thank
great.
you very much.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if we can do that every episode because I'm gonna die. Just picturing him right in the pies right there. Anyways, so
The light fades everywhere else.
anyways,
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
while Iliad's writing in his diary, I believe Tiri wishes to approach a table of fellow businessmen.
Okay, so here's the master plan. We've got Gabriel, our games gnome, and he's come up with you've got all these great, crazy ideas about how to like make these clever, ingenious little games and everything. And you want to get the high crowd, right? You want to get up kind of sophisticated
To the mountain.
to the top. Okay, right. And then Bartholomew, you're a genius teller, and your creative design it's colorful, it's bright, and you've been able to put together all of these elaborate costumes for Arvid's exotic animals. So we've got all of these beautiful, majestic beasts that people are going to be just storming to see. They're all dressed up so bright and colorfully. And then we've got Cronin, and you are ready for the challenge of a lifetime. This you're gonna pull this whole thing all together for us. Along with Tamara, who's running the tavern, but we'll get into this for a moment. But here we go. Here's the master plan. Ready? Exotic animals, bright, elaborate colors and costumes, clever games, and some of the things we're going to build. We are going to put together a circus.
Cronin leans back. Arvid's like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Makes sense, yeah. Circus, Bartholomew. You know,
I'm sorry.
there's no...
This is just where Dan, we just kind of leave him alone for the next 10 minutes as he RPs with himself with like 5 different people. I gotta go get coffee real quick.
Cronin, think about it. You could build all the contraptions for a massive, expanding high top that could just erupt into place wherever we go. And then inside we can have gears and spinning wheels for the animals to run and jump on, and gizmos and things for Gabriel to make for these most elaborate games that people could go in and dive through. There'll be animals and lights and colors.
Gabriel's games, gizmos, and gears. I love it. I'm in. Done. Let's do this.
And the costumes, Bartholomew. Costumes for acrobats, for our ringmaster. Who,
Do we have the budget for unlimited colors, though?
Oh, we've got the budget. I've been see this little crazy little misadventure I've been doing on the side here.
Yeah.
With these guys, like it's put together. I've come into a little money here, so
Weird
I'm
Tiri's
willing to.
side gig.
I'm willing to front. I'm willing to front like whatever it takes to fund all the games you can make and all the costumes you can sew and all the animals you can buy and all the materials you need to craft the most elaborate and dazzling displays.
Gabriel and Bartholomew are like, you see their eyes are glazed over and they're imagining all the amazing things they're gonna make, and somehow their thought bubbles are coming together into this beautiful thing.
So, Cronin, are you up to the challenge of making all of their wildest dreams, keeping up with a gnome's mind for invention?
Arvid leans back. He's been just like chill the whole time. He's like, she says she's going to pay for it all. I'm in. Roll your persuasion with advantage 3 because you've won over hands down 3 with your speech.
Nice.
Yeah. Bartholomew and Gabriel were in the minute you said, do what you want.
And then we're going to get Tamrick in because running Falcon's Roost, he's also going to know about booking and getting the right kind of clientele. No, this is all good. And that's a 19, and that exploded.
Oh,
Nice.
19. So at least 27 here. 33.
I'll describe Cronin again too, because we haven't talked about him, especially for the viewers in a while. He's that Drekkie who's white in the front that goes back to this like orangish amber, so it almost looks like the flames of his work have burned his scales to white, and he's probably 7.5 feet tall, if I remember right, and just this very regal, always shoulders back. The Drekkie's knees bend slightly when they never, if he stood at his full height, he could possibly be 8 foot, but the way their legs work, they're always bent slightly. And he's sitting there, stroking his snout, scratches right at the top of his nose. Miss Tiri, I have forged weapons for the Scolari, great spears and bows, arrows. I have forged axes for Drekkie and orcs. There is no weapon I have not made until you came along. I will say I did not expect to be as intrigued by the challenge as it was to make them effective. But not too effective that the children won't hurt themselves.
Yeah, they gotta learn somehow.
Indeed, I suppose you are right. We learn by challenging ourselves, and sometimes it hurts.
Think about the amazing death traps that people can escape from. The most clever inventions you can think of. And we'll have acrobatics and magicians snipping through and trying to outwit all the marvelous contraptions you come up with.
I will do this on one condition. No time limits except my own life. But we, through this, must find the materials to forge a spear to rival the spear of Arcuro.
But
not that Arcuro.
I was gonna say, because, his are cool, but his are made by a bunny.
What?
Never mind, long story.
Yes! Makes me feel good.
It does.
Props! Props, mustache.
Seriously. Give me 1 second, because I lost the word. I do not know what it is you speak of, but it has been my dream my entire life to forge a spear worthy to be equaled with Stjorna, the starlight spear of the Archero. One day, perhaps, and he points to Archero over talking to Stjornandi, he will be able to wield it. But I wish to forge one that will be of as great renown, but that requires money and access to places perhaps even yet undiscovered. If this project can be done while we do this circus, I think the challenges will teach me new skills that will allow me to do this.
Your whole paradigm shift with thinking so outside the box, you'll make the box that you have to think outside of.
Yes. Very well, we will do this.
Excellent.
Circus.
Circus.
All right. Yes. Tiri will be doing a challenge event to get things off the ground and running. So I think over the next couple sessions, we'll probably have you roll a couple things. For this one, we're starting with, I want 3 rolls that make sense, each different attributes that make sense for getting the business off the ground and running. You'll have advantage 2 on all the rolls because everyone's helping you.
All right.
So I'll give you some time to think about that.
Yeah, thank you.
And we'll go to some RP with other people. But basically, it's like a challenge event. So each roll has to be a different attribute. Mm-hmm. And we'll see, based on that, it's how things get off the ground, and we'll kind of work together on
It's like 3 this session, or is it like 1 over each of the next 3 sessions?
Let's do... We've got this episode and 1 more episode, so let's do 1 each episode, maybe.
Okay.
To do that, and then we'll keep going from there.
Sweet.
So, and then we'll talk some more outside of
It'll give you more time to brew things along and to show progression with it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So, okay. Brick, you had something you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Drinks.
Drinks. I'm assuming Ingrid and I are still pounding them back.
Yes, Ingrid, you can roll a perception for me.
Another?
Yeah. This is not for Stjornandi.
14?
14. Nobody here has a lot of cups on them.
Oh.
But the one thing you are noticing is that there's several contests about to be run. So you're pretty sure shortly there will be many people with cups walking around. A lot of people are coming here to win some cups, so no one has any yet that are coming.
Getting
Carry
excited.
Ingrid was asking about that off camera.
Just in case people drop them, you know, things get lost.
Into my hand. All of a sudden she turns into Winnie the Pooh.
Is there any more?
No,
I'm
there
just
isn't.
a little black rain cloud.
Oh, my spirit animal.
Under. With little cups.
The rest of this episode will just be Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, bother.
Oh, I love Winnie the Pooh.
So you're drinking mead.
Am I drinking mead? What do they
Well,
have?
if it's honey.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I love that.
Oh,
I
that's
absolutely
beautiful.
love it. There's honey mead, yeah. And what else do we have? Some kind of blueberry ale, I feel like, just for Iliad.
Yes. Although Iliad can't hold his liquor much, can he?
Nope.
We
He's
actually
only 18. He shouldn't have any of it. He's only
Your
18.
fortitude, I think, is 0. So
Whoa, now I am.
He smells it and just falls over.
I'm tall, but I'm rather thin. We'll see if I'm a lightweight.
Dear diary.
Alright.
Carry on.
Anyway, the honey mead is making me feel a bit sweet and I don't know. Warm. That's a good one.
Name that movie in the comments.
I actually don't know.
You just
We're not gonna give it away.
No, we're leaving it hanging. We gotta wait several weeks for Austin to comment.
Warm.
He'll tell me off camera, then I'll tell you.
Okay, go ahead. Carry on.
Keep going.
So Ingrid, you first of all, is she still a frog?
No.
Like,
That- I mean, that's up to Ingrid.
Fifth of
That's
all,
Ingrid's.
fifth or sixth of all, I don't know how much we've stopped this conversation yet. You said your dad was a sailor?
Yes. Well, a sailor turned entrepreneur turned nobleman. Very interesting story.
I have time.
Well, his name is Colin, and he did start off very low, little, like, doing regular sailing things.
Just to pause you real quick, you use the present tense.
No, well, he's not around anymore. I like to think that he was around, but he's not.
Continue.
True.
Sorry for that stab of realism in there.
It's true. He was. And so he was one of those people that could just make anything and do anything he put his mind to. He just had that ability to see something and put it all together without even any blueprints, nothing. And he was just an amazing man and ended up building his way up into being an entrepreneur and had a fancy for my mother for a long time, but she was quite prestigious and quite unobtainable, I guess you would say. But I mean, I guess she was, because here I am.
Here you are.
So, anyways, it's it's a lovely story, but yeah, he was always a very spirited, stubborn, inspiring man.
Interesting. Reminds me a lot of my dad. I miss him.
Ajax goes, do you?
Can I roll real quick if I'm gonna take this serious or not? Because I don't know.
Sure. I'm thinking do you want to, but you don't know if he would?
Yes.
Okay, so roll your will. And it's going to be against your resolve. If you beat your own resolve, you will take it seriously.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
It's a big step.
So I started saying it makes me miss my dad. I was going to talk about Nori as a joke. But Brick is gonna make a face that you've probably never seen him make before. Almost sad, like he bites his cheek a little bit and nods, and he was about to say something, but he doesn't. And he's gonna be quiet for just a couple seconds, and then he's gonna yeah, everybody needs good dads. And then he's gonna start drinking.
Very nice.
Not done. No. You're moving on.
Okay. Carry on.
No, I mean, where did you come from?
Should I keep that roll? Part of me wants to like roll every time I have to make a
No,
response.
I think it's more of a once. Yeah, you're in the zone.
Okay.
Ajax just says, careful.
Well, I came from somewhere. That's for sure, right? Because I'm here.
Yeah, you're quite different.
Yep. Yeah, I picked up on that. I hope to get to know you better, Ingrid.
Yeah, you too.
I'm gonna...
Ajax goes, easy.
Down.
You guys happy with that? Yeah.
Always want to pry more. I need to know all the things.
That was good. I think let's go to Iliad because we haven't been to him since the diary.
Oh. Thank you, dragon.
Indeed, thank the dragon.
Are these
It's Proctor Mala standing behind you.
Proctor? Are these pies handmade?
I believe so. Yes.
That's what they do.
You see, that's the point.
Tell me.
You see,
Is this corn handshake?
yes.
Name that.
Seriously, take a bite. And he's like, I take my pinky and like shove it in his mouth.
Oh my goodness.
I'm very good. I'm sorry. Where are my manners? I should have licked my fingers first. Make sure they were clean.
Wipe his mouth. Yes. No,
Oh, yes. Oh, gosh.
Proctor, how are you?
I had actually quite an invigorating discussion with the Stjornandi. Yeah, wonderful of him to show up, despite current situations. I have been able to arrange a meeting with the adjutant for tomorrow morning, if your party is willing and able.
I will absolutely inform them. I would imagine we're all eager to.
Excellent. It will mean so much to all of us. So much to say, but shall we have some time? Would you like to? I see you are already feasting on some pie already.
Yes.
Well, shall
Did you
we
want to,
just
or
stay
to
here?
go somewhere and speak? I know there's a contest.
No, we can remain here.
As long as I don't miss it, you know.
I see. Did you want to witness, or are you pre-gaming, as it were?
Legend point to the LM.
I don't know what that means, but yes, that's exactly what I'm doing. But no, I mean, I'm truly deeply interested in us being able to catch up.
Excellent.
I still have 3/4 of this pie, so do you want to step outside, or where's comfortable?
No, it's just fine. It's quite warm. Sometimes you can be alone in a crowd. You know what I mean? Yes. So much I could tell you. What of you? What is?
Where to begin? You know, for
Was that his
being
diary? So he just flips it over, turns to page 1.
if we look back, but goodness, it seems like I feel much older than I I seem to be. Every once in a while I step back and I realize I still am sort of the baby in the group. But besides that, I don't know, things have been moving ahead. Much has occurred, and I don't wish to go too far back. But how have you been?
Well, very well. He puts his hand on your shoulder, and I may know more than you think I do. I've been trying to keep track of you ever since you left. And now with this promotion to Proctor of Tamara, I've found out things. I know some of what happened to you, and I'm so sorry.
I feel like there's almost a little bit of fear in Iliad's eyes of him saying that and actually knowing.
I don't know all the details, but suffice it to say is, things have changed quite there. I think you will recognize the name Fennec. His, well, let's just call it what it was. His gang has effectively organized more officially, and he is has been quite a powerful force in the area. I have brought things in the position I've gained to more of a peaceful situation, at least. It has not been easy. But I know there was some difficulty there in the relationship, that if you were to ever want to return home, I could perhaps help facilitate something. Again, I don't know everything, but...
What connections do you have with Fennec?
Well, his group has effectively become the police force in the southern region, where you were for a while, as I understand.
Help us.
There was difficulty. It was just straight up gang violence for quite a while. But he was clearly going to be the one that was going to come out on top, and decisions had to be made to minimize civilian death. And I was able to work with some of the other servitors and the local government to make some agreements with him. So we have kept things at peace.
So you've given... Proctor, please don't tell me you gave him power.
No. I think we made him happy with where he was. And I have to say, he is an ambitious gnome. But not as bad as some of the things I've said. He has actually saved quite a many child. It's just, he is very determined. And so it was best, I think, to appease and work out an agreement that was to the benefit of the community as a whole. I don't know exactly what it was that has been a thorn between you two, but he seemed willing to have you back, if you so decide. But if you want to disappear, then I am happy to help you once again.
I may need to dwell on that for at least a little while.
There is no rush at all. I will not be heading back to Dinalthea until after the Festival of First Ascendance is over.
You're not here permanently, or?
No. As Proctor of Temera, I need to be constantly on the move. But for the Feast of First Ascendance, most Proctors, and of course all the Lesser Seats, come. And since Lesser Seat Hullshire is here and working with the Adjutant, it was a good time for me to come. It has been my work with Hullshire that has promoted me to Proctor and put me in the position to stop the violence that was occurring there. So I owe a lot to him. To the Adjutant as well.
To Fennec?
No, to Proctor Lesser Seat, excuse me. He's been Proctor for so long, I'm used to calling him that. Lesser Seat Hullshire and the Adjutant. I have been assisting them with the whale's fin. We have been looking specifically, as I said before, about the Orcish territories. And that is where Fennec comes in. He has connections with them, some supply routes for certain distributions. So he has been helpful. Keeping him appeased has helped to keep the peace between the orcs and the elves, at least at bay. Things are fragile there. It is only by the sheer will of the High Seat, the Adjutant, and King Beck of Dinalthea that things are not progressing. The famine that has spread across the Orcish territories in Orbrief has been difficult. And I don't know. There's so much. It's not going well. It's only by the sheer will of these individuals that things are being held at bay as it is.
And you see... to even say his name again, but you see value in reconnecting with him. You see value to our team.
For you, I cannot say. But I will say that Fennec has been helpful in this situation. Sometimes we must use the tools that we are given. And there he was. I only offer to you if you ever wanted to go home. What benefit it would be to you, I know not. Though perhaps if the adjutant seems to like your party, and he wants to have you further investigate this possible assassination, perhaps there could be more there. You could return with me and help me in that.
To go home. I wish that I could say it made me content, made me happy, but I don't think it's a place for me at this moment. But I won't forget it.
I understand. Always feel free to call on me if you do. Again, I will be returning to Tamara after the festival, so correspondence anytime. And I completely understand. And let me tell you, my son, there is nowhere better than here in Avisen, the seat of the dragon, during the festival of his first ascendance, to find your home again. And he points at your necklace.
I was going to point at the pie.
Oh, no.
Go ahead, sorry.
Your mother's pendant. To be here in the Falcon's Roost, I think, appropriate. To reconnect with that. The Falcon is one of the few saints who I think would be in agreement with the book of our union and our reformation.
And I kind of clasp it. It's interesting to me that it's... The memory of it has grown on me a bit more being here. Although I haven't quite noticed it until you've mentioned that. But...
Well,
at any rate, blueberry pies.
Sounds lovely. What a way to start. I think the contest will be starting soon. It seems the racks are filling up quite full.
If I need to find you by at any point, where should I come to look?
Well, I will be mostly working either at the house setter or at the home of the adjutant. And of course, tonight, I would be happy to feast and party with you all here. And in the morning, first thing, at an hour after dawn, the adjutant will be ready to receive guests, and he will be expecting you at any time. So I will be there, happy to introduce you, and perhaps to the high seat if he is feeling up to it. And we can discuss.
I should move out of your way.
No, I don't have pencil.
Molly's scooching over to take a look at the pie. Kitty.
Could do gracefully. Kitty.
That sounds like quite a nice plan. I'll make sure to as soon as I'm done.
Oh yes, of course.
I'll certainly make
Pies and
sure
riddles.
to notify Bittersweet. Like that name.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Quite a ring to it. I like the irony.
I thought so. I didn't have anything to do with it, but
Nah, well, that's very humble of you.
I am the image in the face of this strong and mighty team. I don't know if Akira would be the last one to tell you that.
Yeah.
He'd probably say he was, but and I'm sure you have quite nice relations with him. But
Well, whether or not he even knows of me, other than today, but I have known of him. The Lilinger is well known.
silly me.
Each of the Lilingers of all the fells are well known, but our Kiro, of course, especially.
Yes.
You forgive me. You haven't changed a bit, have you, Iliad? He is Akiro. Akiro. Akiro is one of the saints of the dragon.
Can I feel like just because of my own lack of this, can I like roll a perception to like see how much can I perceive of this or my memory from when I was younger? Would that
Well,
work?
if you go memory, we could do learning.
All right. Sure, let's do
Or
that.
if you want to, like, wing it from whatever information you can perceive around you. That
No,
we can
all right,
also
let's
do.
go learning. Learning probably makes more sense.
Now, I'll give you an advantage because your parents were servitors. They were both servitors.
Okay, so I've got another. So I just do D.
2D.
2d20s
2d20s,
take the
okay.
higher.
Come on. I've got no memory. 7.
7.
Wait, that was an advantage. Do I just take the higher one?
Just the higher.
Yeah.
So it's 5.
Wait.
He added a
Stop it.
It's just funny that the number added together was still so low.
What you can think of right now is you did see the statue
so good, though.
at that temple that looked like Arkiro.
Okay.
And you know Tarian, the falcon, is a bird. And Arkiro's a bird. You can roll that.
I don't pay attention. Really. They're all very feathery.
I'm giving you a legend point for that. The Scolari? Yes, they are.
Yes.
Quite.
It's just a nice observation. I thought I'd
Perhaps-
mention.
Perhaps
You didn't know.
I know it has been some time, and you were always so busy singing and eating when you were young. You know, I think it is something he should tell you then. If you don't remember, I don't want to overstep bounds, though he is well known. You could ask around as well, if you would like. But
We've got a great relationship. I'll just ask him.
I want like a flashback to all the don't touch me's.
All the legend points to you, man. I totally just see that. What are you doing? Don't touch me. Stop it. Put that down.
The wing, whenever Iliad's talking, and the wing's just
Wait a minute, I have a flare.
All I can say is, who he is now is not who he is. How do I say it? Who he is now is only a very small piece of what he is meant to become. And he has become that many times before.
So he's going to get taller.
Well,
Got it.
perhaps. None in our lifetimes have seen Stjornandi, his spear. Perhaps it is a giant spear. Perhaps he will be giant. He is a saint of the dragon who walks among us.
Does seem only a touch intimidating. But we're like old pals.
Yes. I can't imagine anyone not liking Iliad.
Well, I do like to think so, if I may. But I suppose we're all on a journey. I'm on some
Indeed.
sort of journey myself.
A journey
But,
upward as the dragon. In life we grow.
On his wings we rise.
Wow. Good for you.
I've been practicing.
That's beautiful. So you guys will dive into some eating. Let's hop over to Minnehaha and Arkiro quick here. So it's kind of like all these things are happening concurrently. So we're picking right back up with the smile that rarely passes the Stjornandi's lips.
Oh boy.
Takes a drink from his cup. So, Minnehaha, where do you come from?
Well, it's a bit of a complicated story, but my family is native to Nicaea. And it's about time I'd like to get back there, but I'm on a mission, you see, to...
Back there?
Well, no, not for me, but the All-Mother did call me ever eastward. Some of my family members are on a mission back to Nicaea.
He puts out a clawed hand. There are folk returning to Nicaea. I have not heard word of this. Does the kingdom of Dinothir know of this?
Well, I'm not really sure on that. I'm just on my own journey here, of course, but following the Old Mother's instructions and vision she'd given me. And of course, I had an interruption in the city being put up and all. But I suppose letting you know that a few are going back. My father and Sister Bidka. Not sure what they'll find, but at least it was in my vision. I'm not with them, of course, so hoping they'll be okay. But can't be cleared on it. I do have worries about them going back.
As would I. I did not know that the Bohan resought their home. You seem to me too young to have been a part of the Wailing Migration.
Well, I myself wasn't really. I was born somewhere else in the tribe of the Roaming Petals. So I've never been to Nicaea myself, but I know they're going back. And
Indeed.
What do you know of it that you would worry about them there?
Oh, everyone knows the stories. It is a strange thing to have a myth born in so short a time. My home is here. I have only heard the stories from Dinothier and from the elves in the north. An island lost to darkness. Not even the kingdom of Dinothier speaks of it anymore. It's as if it vanished.
And perhaps it has, but like I said, I'm simply following the vision that the Old Mother gave me, and she told me so much that they were going back there, and I don't know if they'll be all right. It was a bit scary what she showed me, but I have to trust and live on and move forward on my personal mission.
As
of course,
do we all.
I'll be here helping Kiro and the crew as long as they need, I suppose, but I'd like to get on with it.
Well, I am grateful. He does this kind of bird head bow. Very grateful for your help in this. And I think what you do if you say this, if you help our Kiro and this team he has succeed in getting myself in the position of high seat, perhaps there will be hope if Nicaea is truly able to be reclaimed. This is interesting.
I would like to make that bargain for sure if I could.
Consider it done. This will be very good to spread our cure. We are, in effect, reflecting the image of the All-Mother and the White Dragon in their time together.
Indeed.
The White Dragon faith and the All-Mother faith, though we have not always agreed on how to go about things, we are allies. And there was a time when she and he were quite close, as the words of his ascendant speaks.
That is true. I can agree with that myself. And I'd much oblige that situation and be happy to be a part of both that, supporting the White Dragons and Old Mother.
Very good. Well done, Lillinger. As the conversation ramping up, the Tamarick steps up and starts hitting a glass. Tink, 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 tink. Right then, the contests are about to begin. First, fill your bellies with pies of all kinds. Cups to be won. And then fill your minds with riddles. As one of the great bards from Orbrief. And there's this tall elf with jet black hair that kind of goes in a spike straight up and then a little bit hangs in his face and his eyes are just all black. We'll bring you riddles from the northern woods. Be prepared. Are you ready? Everyone's like, costumes! And we'll pick up next episode with some games and maybe more discussion. And pie. And pie.
She's got your order. I'm sorry, how many movie quotes have I had this year?
You're aging us too. They're all like 90s and early aughts movies.
Yes.
Anyways, thank you guys so much for joining us as always. What do I want to say? Check out the links in our description below for all the good stuff. Links for music and ambience and games and all that stuff. Check out Interplanar Crossroads on YouTube, Great Mustache's Twitch channel for more Open Legend actual play, HeroMuster.com, OpenLegendRPG.com. Subscribe if you like it, ding that bell, and we'll see you next week.